if we're talking about the cost of living in San Diego, check this out. The city of San Diego is considering a sales tax hike. Now, this is interesting. Now, they're talking about raising our sales tax by 0.5% or maybe a full percent. And you might be thinking, that's just a couple of pennies on the dollar, no big deal. But this whole thing just starts adding up. And we already pay really high income tax in the state of California. In fact, I think it's the highest income tax of any state in the nation. We pay really high gasoline taxes. I think that's also the highest in America. Our corporate tax rates, our capital gains tax rates are some of the tops in America. Our property tax in California, while the percentage may not be that high, the check we write to the county assessor is extraordinarily high because our home values are high. And, people are struggling. We got a homelessness crisis. We have a housing crisis, people living in their cars. And now they're considering increasing sales taxes, which, by the way, impact the poor probably more than anybody. But sure enough, they are. Now, the San Diego County Taxpayers Association, which, by the way, don't be fooled by that name. The San Diego Taxpayers Association is mostly a business-oriented chamber of commerce-like organization that enjoys the benefits of the higher taxes, that will enable construction firms to participate in development of a lot of things around San Diego. They're not like a tax fighting organization like the Richard Ryder Group, but they said, the San Diego Taxpayers Association said that it would generate hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. But according to San Diego resident Jonah Amuda, he said, we're barely getting by, and the only good luck we've gotten is gas is going down a bit, but every cent counts nowadays. And he's right. It's expensive to live here, and it should be expensive to live in San Diego because it's a desirable place to be. But it just seems that our local officials keep making it even more expensive. And here they want to generate more tax dollars. They say, this is going to fund roads. This is going to fund a lot of different things. Here, right? There was even a quote. And where did I see that? It was... this was from Alan Ginn, who is a well-known economist from the University of San Diego. He speaks on a lot of these topics all the time. And he said that anything that is subject to a sales tax would then be a little more expensive. The city says it needs that revenue to engage in stuff like street repairs and other things in terms of improving the quality of life for the local community. It sounds pretty vague, doesn't it? Now, I don't care what the sales tax rate is. It seems like San Diego roads are always a disaster. I mean, still to this day, I complain all the time about Carmel Mountain Road, about Ted Williams Parkway, and a lot of other places here in the neck of the woods where I live. I live in Poway, but I'm in Rancho Bernardo, Carmel Mountain Ranch, Sabre Springs quite a bit, those are all our next door neighbors. The roads continue to be a mess, and you wonder about, police protection and how good it is, and really where are those resources being directed. Sometimes you just kind of wonder about some of the priorities they have with spending, but they're always going back to the well to get more money. And unions are behind this, especially government employee unions, because they're the ones, that are enjoying the benefit of the higher sales tax, because the majority of the money goes to pay for employees, government paid employees. Now, the current sales tax rate in San Diego is 7.75%. Now, this is worth breaking down because the sales tax that we pay has three layers to it. There's the state layer, which I believe is 6%, which I also believe is the highest of any state in the nation in California. But then you add the county layer, which is an additional 1.75%, which gets the sales tax to 7.75%, which many communities in San Diego pay. But in some cities, they've added a third layer to increase it even more. Because, for example, in Oceanside, El Cajon, and Vista, the rate is 8.25%. And there are many cities in the state of California that it's over 10% sales tax. So, they can keep adding layers to this. Now, Oh, yeah. Chula Vista, National City, Del Mar, Imperial Beach. The rate there is 8.75, 8.75. Now, Escondido considered a sales tax increase. It's been shot down twice by voters. Now, San Diego coming to the well. What do you think of this? Now, sales tax obviously impacts many of the things we buy. It doesn't impact food or medicine, but it impacts the price we pay for clothing, for gasoline, because gasoline has a gas tax, but you're also paying the sales tax on gasoline, and just a lot of other things in our market. When we're buying takeout food, if we're going to a restaurant, sales tax is added to that. It makes a significant difference when you add it all up, and particularly for people that are maybe have less disposable income. This is going to hit them the hardest. What do you think of this? Does San Diego need an increase in the sales tax? Well, I'm definitely a big no on that. But right now, they're just trying to get organized. They're trying to see if they can get this on the ballot in November of 2024. So we'll see what kind of progress they make on that.